ignites a fire in you, similar to the other moments of inspiration that you've received, but very different. Yesterday, I developed my May girl crush, and it was on Jamie. Anybody saw Jamie yesterday and just like developed an instant girl crush? I see your hands up. Like, I had a girl crush. So Jamie, if you're listening, crushing on you. Just amazing. It was the ability to play big, ginormous, while embracing your humility. And the navigation of allowing the world to see your journey, because you don't just talk, you allow your soul to speak. I'm grateful. I'm grateful at my life. I'm grateful when I look at the business that I've created, at the global brand that I've created, at the lifestyle that I've created, transforming my son's life and my father's life and my mother's life and my brother's life. I'm grateful for all of that. But what I'm most grateful for is that I've learned to let my soul speak. So the me you would see and have dinner with is the me that you would see right here. Yesterday, when I saw that in Jamie and so many other speakers, Stormy, I just had chills with, and so many other great speakers, I was excited. I was excited about this sisterhood. Anybody else? Hands up. Type your name in chat. Type excited in chat. I was excited. And look at us all around the world, allowing our souls to touch each other, crossing cultural lines and gender lines and geographical lines and religious lines and building bridges. Last year, things were polarized. There was no social injustice that started last year. Last year, it was polarized. And we saw in a moment how important our voices are. And so it's only fitting that today we have thousands and thousands and thousands of Mother Earths, mamas and sisters and aunties and cousins and brothers and fathers all coming together saying, what's my part? Before you can rescue the world, before you can transform the world, you must first rescue yourself. Transform yourself. So hello, you are the first in line. I said it when I was on Steve Harvey. I am my rescue. No one has to come for me. That's my job. But I sure would like a tribe and a community to come along the journey with me. Anybody else about that? Like, I know how to do Long Ranger. I know how to do solopreneur. I know how to do all by myself. I know how to do don't worry about me. I know how to do no, I'll be fine. I know how to do I don't need any help. Anybody else know what I'm talking about? I know how to do all that. And in this season, I'd love to master. I can do it by myself, but it feels so much better doing it with y'all. So that's why Marina and Stormy and all the other sisters that I haven't met yet that I'm looking forward to meeting mean so much to me. I stopped by today to stir your soul. Can I stir? Can I just stir your soul? I stopped by today to stir your soul. I stopped by today to agitate, activate any form of mediocrity that might be in you. That when it comes to allowing not just your mouth to speak, but your soul to speak. I'm often asked by people, what's the difference, Lisa? Like I'm a good speaker, but you're like freaking unforgettable. And I graciously and gratefully received that. And for years, I didn't understand what was it. Like, I don't know. And over the years, as my friends required me to find the answers, as the Les Browns and the Jack Canfields and the J.J. Virgins and all the great people out there, just said, listen, what is that thing you do, girl? I began to look and I said, well, I think it's when I talk to you, I let my soul speak to you. I don't speak to you from my intellect, though my intellect plays a part, but I give you my soul. So my soul touches your soul, and whatever the topic is, just feels a lot better. So I just wanted to know that, are you ready to let your soul speak? Now, you might be speaking, you might be leading, and no matter what you're doing, you need to speak. Everything starts with your words. Everything. Love and but parenting and leadership, everything starts with your words. But so often we're still speaking guarded because we're not sure how people are going to take it or what they're going to do. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Anybody know what I'm talking about? So many of you are in network marketing, and so many of you are not, and so many of you are here just to find out what's that next level of me I can touch. And I think that's what kept having me chase the next version of myself. I just wanted to find what's the next level of Lisa. I don't want to let Lisa off the hook. I know people are impressed with my bio. Oh my God, you have a multi-million-dollar business. Oh my God, you touch 80 million people a year. That's great. But I want to always know my next level of me. I want to touch the next best version of me. And I came for that sister and that brother who wants to do the same in whatever your world is. Because normally they provide a lot of information, but less inspiration. Even if you think the inspiration is huge, I'll show you how you can do more. They stimulate the mind, but not the heart. My mind is ignited, but my heart opened up a little bit. They create team, but they don't create community. They have respect, but they don't have connection. They establish commitment, but not loyalty. Now, again, you can make millions, you can touch millions doing information, mind, team, respect, and commitment. But if you want to create a legacy that's unstoppable, go inspiration, heart, community, connection, and loyalty. So I want to show you just a few techniques where you don't have to even focus on this. Focus on the technique I'm going to teach you. Matter of fact, God willing, I'm going to give you 3 techniques today. I'm going to try to squeeze in 4. But I'm going to give you, and I'll show you all the techniques that I teach, but I'll pull out some that you can use immediately, like use it at dinner tonight and watch the difference. And I want to give you things that you can implement now, like Lisa is a now kind of girl. So first, to understand that you are a speaker, type in chat, I am a speaker. I am a speaker. This type, I am a speaker. All roads that lead to you come through your mouth, your messaging. You are the front door to anything that anyone's going to ever do with you. I'll say that again. You are the front door. So when you hone that craft, when you hone the craft of oration, when you hone the craft of delivering a powerful and impactful message, it doesn't matter what you touch, what you're talking about, it's going to rise. All tides rise. Matter of fact, you'll have to use your powers for good, because you can touch things and promote things and talk about things, and all of a sudden you just get an influx. It's a quality problem, but a problem nonetheless. The first type of speaker, and I want you to identify what type of speaker you are right now. Now you can move from different categories. Most speakers that I work with don't even know these 4 categories. I studied it for years, and I said, oh, you know what? There's 4 different categories. So I want you to identify which category you're in right now. And then I'm going to ask you which one you want to be in, which is just a matter of new skill sets being learned. So the first speaker is an informational speaker. And an informational speaker is responsible for delivering information. So their job is to get you the information that you need. They're college instructors. They're the traffic school teacher. They're the people who literally said, did you get the information? Then my job is done. They're not responsible for your motivation or your inspiration. They're responsible for giving you information. So in a moment, I'm going to have you identify which one you are. The second type of speaker is a motivational speaker. They're like, yes, on fire, let's do this. Their job, this is what I like to call it, they're like a jumper cable. They come in, and your battery is kind of going, and they put that jumper cable called their energy on you, and man, you just go over the top, right? Jack is more in the transformational, so he started in motivational, but he's moved more to transformational. So you get a Tony Robbins, and you leave, and you're on fire. You get a Les Brown, you leave, and you're on fire. That's their job. You need to be mindful that in 90 days, your people need another jump start. So I always say, if you're a motivational speaker, touch them in 70 days so that they don't fizzle down. So if you know you're topical, if you know you like that rah, go, get it. This is also what people know in the industry. Everyone's called a motivational speaker, but it's important for you to know which kind you are, no matter where you are. I have scientists in my programs. I have attorneys. I have politicians. I have doctors, because they all know that they use their voice. So I'm not talking about stage speaking like this. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about anything you touch. What type of speaker are you going to be? The next is an inspirational speaker. And as an inspirational speaker, they inspire you from the inside out. Motivation is from the outside in, topical. So it's important that the room is on fire. It's important that there's energy. Inspiration comes inside out. Now, this is where you see Marion Williamson, you see the late, great Wayne Dyer, you see all the other people that you see on this, and many others. You see Eric, you see Marina, that's inspirational speaking, inside out. Now, they may use some motivational techniques to keep you going, but they want to have transformation from inside out. Now, let me tell you about this. A lot of inspirational speakers, and you might be this, you compare yourself to a motivational speaker, and you feel like you lose every time. That's what I did. When I started, I would be on stage and I'd do my thing because I started as an inspirational speaker. And I'd do my thing and I'm teaching and I'm expecting a Les Brown response or Tony Robbins response. But instead, people are going, or they're crying. I'm like, I suck at this motivational speaking thing. Everybody's crying. Well, I didn't realize that I was comparing myself. And first of all, Benjamin Franklin says, comparison is and will always be the thief of all your joy. I was comparing myself to a whole different category. I'm an inside-out kind of girl. I use motivation here and there, but my landing place is inspiration. So you need to know your lane. How many of you raise your hand if you know you've been comparing yourself to the wrong category and then saying you're not good enough and you didn't even know you were in a different category to right now? Right? Right. So the last category, and then I'm going to have you type in chat what category you're in. So I want to see the chat box in a moment. The last is transformation. So I started in inspiration, and then when I developed more techniques, I went to transformation. So transformation is the road less traveled, because transformation is not instant. Transformation starts with irritation, just for the record. Transformation requires a long-term commitment, for the record. Transformation requires the program. The program that Marina's inviting you to take a part in, that's a transformational program. So if you want instant, and you want to instantly have results, then you have to really understand that you're going to need to do motivation and inspiration, then get to transformation, right? And so when I realized I was a transformational speaker, I realized I need to do programs. I need to teach, because transformation is not instant. It don't happen in the microwave. It doesn't happen on Google Download. You don't Google Download transformation, just the word. So all of a sudden you begin to see where you are. So now I want you to identify, are you information? Are you motivation? Are you inspiration? Are you transformation? Show me how to trust my voice more. I want to see your hands up. I'm going to look all around. I'm not going to look right into the camera now because I want to see you. Show me how I can go deeper in my soul. I see you. Show me how I can go deeper in my soul and how I can let it out and how I can trust it. Right. Good. Good. Jerry, I'm going to give you all I can. Elizabeth, I'm going to give you all I can. Laura, all I can. Yolanda, all I can right now. So, I'm going to go fast. I knew for a long time that I had a message in my belly. I was just scared. I was scared to let it out because I didn't know if I was doing it right. I didn't know if someone would listen. As you hear this, just raise your hand. Just let me know if I'm not alone. I was wondering if I'd be judged if I told them too much. I was wondering if I'd lose my credibility if they knew that I was still trying to figure life out while I'm helping others. I remember the night before I went on Oprah in 2007 for The Secret. I'm pacing. I'm like, oh my God. Tomorrow I go on Oprah. Tomorrow I go on Oprah. Oh my God, tomorrow. And tomorrow I have a decision. I can sit on that stage and act like I got everything figured out. Or I can let my soul speak. I can share my brilliance and I can share my journey. And I can trust that the audience will choose me or unchoose me and that I'll be okay. And it wasn't about trusting the audience. It was trusting that whatever the audience chose, I'll be okay. It was trusting me. The next day I sat on Oprah between Jack Canfield and Reverend Michael Beckwith and Oprah. And I'm like, man, I'm such a peon on this stage. But I did something. And I love my brothers from another mother. But I did something that my brothers didn't do as much. I let my soul speak. And within 72 hours, I received 9,782 emails saying we want more. And that was the beginning. You don't learn them all at one time. Type in chat one by one. One by one, you learn them. One by one, you're gentle with yourself. One by one, you try them out. One by one, you try it on, like one shoe and then the other shoe, and then you walk in those shoes. And if they feel good, you speed up a little bit. These are the techniques that I found that when I anchor down and learn these techniques, you don't learn them all overnight. Be gentle with yourself. Type in chat, I will be patient with myself. Type in chat, sister, brother, I will be patient with myself. When you learn them, all of a sudden, when you touch people, you touch them at a different level. So let me share some of this with you. One technique is show me. Show me versus tell me. People are looking for an opportunity to experience you. Yesterday, Jamie did this magnificent job of showing you the journey. She spent 75% of her message explaining and unpacking the no's, right? So that we all can get comfortable with the no. So when you use show me versus tell me, this technique is about demonstrating at a higher level the emotional impact when speaking, but it causes you to take bigger risks. So are you willing to take bigger risks to touch people bigger? Are you willing to do that? You share the story in such a way that the audience can see your story versus hear your story. Most of you are telling a story, and I want to invite you to show the story. When you show the story, here's how you do it. You take your content and you give it a 3D experience. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to sound as if I'm talking fast because I am. Because I'm in a timeline. But no worries, because for those of you who are going to work with us a little further, I'm actually going to go a little further with this. Describe what you're seeing. What colors, what heights, what visuals, what were you feeling? What's the conversation that was going on in your head? The beauty of when you take someone in your head, that way you can be confident now, but when you're telling the story about when you were 21, you can be the 21-year-old insecure, confused person still without losing any of who you are today. So often you're not sharing with people that full journey because you're afraid of losing credibility. There's a way that you can unpack and show them the oral movie, unpack the experience, and never lose credibility. As a matter of fact, you gain credibility. So when you're looking at, I want to take you back. Let me give you some examples of show me. And then I want you to practice. Will y'all practice with me? Can we practice together? All right. So I'm a hands-on girl. I need to learn and then practice. I'm functionally dyslexic, and I don't say that as a victim of it. It's my superpower. It makes me learn thoroughly because I know that I need to touch it, feel it, speak it, and try it on. And then I have it. So show me says, it was June, and Jelani and I were having a difficult summer, and difficult because I kept running out of money before I ran out of month. And this particular day, I was frustrated. I was tired. I remember walking into the bedroom saying, my God, I just need some rest. I remember the heat in the room being turned up pretty high. And I would look at the heat and I look at the air conditioning and I wonder, is it up too high? Is it going to cost me too much? Because I always ran out of money before I ran out of month. I went to the drawer to get Jelani some Pampers out. I looked in the drawer and there were no Pampers. Oh my God. I don't know if I have money to buy Pampers. I grabbed the ATM card. I put Jelani in the little sack that I carried him in, and I went down to the ATM. And as I typed my card in the ATM, if you've ever been here, just raise your hand. All the time when I'm typing my code, I'm praying, please have enough money. Please have enough money. Please have enough money. Please have enough money. I was too embarrassed to go back to my parents. I didn't want my parents to know that I needed help. Then I saw the infamous words as I asked for $20 out. Insufficient funds. Damn. I'm tired of being here. Two people in line behind me. I don't want them to know. So I just kind of stand there and cover the thing as if I'm pulling out money, where I'm pulling out the receipt that says no money's there. I go back home and I wrap Jelani in a towel. And I remember my brain screaming, how did I get here? You're the one, Lisa, that they kept saying, she has so much potential. She has so much potential. What's potential? I need my potential to show up. That's a show me story. A story that takes you into the journey. A story that requires you to feel again. If you can see the tears that keep coming up. And so many times you want to hold back something that might come out of you because you don't want to lose that grace. You don't want to lose that charisma or that respect or that credibility. Every time you get in front of someone, it's not about you anymore. It's about what you can do and what you can inspire them to do in themselves. Do you hear me? And so, can you say yes to your soul? Can you say, I trust you? I trust that I can handle and let my truth out. I trust my truth, and I trust my truth to cross my tongue. And so that's a show me technique. And then the next technique would be the valley technique. And the reason why I showed you the show me technique, I explained the show me technique before the valley technique, is because you tell a better valley technique, a better story in the valley when you can show it, right? So the valley is designed to create immediate connection with your audience. Now, these are two different techniques, but they live really close. They're interdependent, right? So the first technique I want you to say is the show me technique. The second technique is the valley technique. Now, the valley is designed to show an immediate connection between you and your audience, and it shows why you are committed to your audience and your commitment. You heard Pete talk about it, and Marina, and so many speakers yesterday say, know your why. Jamie talked about, she kept focusing on her why. So in your valley, and you've seen Marina do it, Pete did it, Jamie did it, Stormy did it, everyone did this valley technique on you. And I'll show you, and you'll go, they've been doing it. There's so much inside of our unconscious competence. But when you can take your unconscious competence and make it your conscious competence, and then use it as a superpower, oh my God, you become unstoppable and unforgettable. So the valley technique is first show the audience the strength of who you are. Now this is going to be a strain for some of you because you have a hard time sharing your diamonds and showing your flowers and sharing your brilliance and showing your genius. You have a hard time owning your greatness. Hello, put your hands in the air, type your name in chat if that's you. You have a hard time just saying hello. Yeah, I can sit on that stage with those other sisters because some would say I am a badass, right? You have a hard time celebrating yourself, right? I see all the names, Apara, Alicia, Joanne, Naja. And so the first part you got to know is the big you. You got to be willing to do the big you, because the only way the valley works is if you do the big you correct. So you have to do this technique in all forms. Then you go down, so you do your big achievements. Then you share an all-time low. You share an all-time low. I see you guys taking pictures of the screen, very smart. You share an all-time low. You deliver that with authenticity, transparency. You talk about your fears. You talk about your weakness. You talk about your trepidation. You talk about your sorrows. It's super important that you share this part so that the audience can see you did not start on the mountaintop. Anywhere you go. When I was on Oprah, I did it. It's what attracted 9,782 emails in 72 hours, you guys. I was the only person that shared my valley. This is the secret sauce. Type in chat, secret sauce. This is the secret sauce. It's why anytime I'm on a national television show, there's at least 20,000 new people in my database within 72 hours. It always happens. It's the valley. I promise you, it's the valley. And I didn't know it was the valley technique. Matter of fact, it wasn't even named the valley. I didn't even know it was, I just threw that name on it because it makes sense. It's up, down, up, right? And I knew it was the valley after a while because I would be on with other people. And they wouldn't have the same response. And I go, what was the difference? I did the valley and they didn't. So if you walk away with nothing else, walk away with this. It's the journey through the moment. Now, it's important that in this moment, you show me versus tell me, which is why I showed you that. I introduced that technique to you first. I can teach you a lot more on that technique, but I just wanted to introduce it to you right now. I had to get my son and wrap him in a towel. On the second day, I sat and I put my hand on his stomach, crying. And I made a promise to my son, Jelani, who's now 26 years old. I said, Jelani, mommy will never be this broke or broken again. I knew Jelani couldn't understand me, but I needed to hear myself make that promise. That's the valley. That's the all-time low. And then you come out of the valley and you then share your commitment, your why. If you remember the speakers, they showed you their big you, the big them, and then they told you about an all-time low moment, and then they came out with their why. This right here, this is the formula of all times, which is, if you get no other formula from me, use this formula. Now, what will stop you from using this formula? The fear of losing respect. The fear of losing connection. Come on, you guys. If that's you, type your name in chat. Raise your hand. Show me a hand. You know, it stops you. I see your hands up. And that's where your confidence comes in. Give yourself permission to share your truth. I see all the names. Yes, I see all your names. And so this is where you want to do that personal development that's in the programs. Because personal development is going to give you the strength and the confidence to turn around and go, hold on, this is who I am unapologetically, and this is my journey. The first one was to show you the show me story. The second one was to teach you about the valley, and I'm doing them all really fast. And the third is this delicious thing I call cadence and iteration flow. And it is the combination of using rhyme, using iteration or alliteration, and cadence as a way to create a rhythmic experience for your audience. What we know is that music is universal. I was in Taipei speaking, and no one spoke any English. All of a sudden, they turned on Beyonce, and the whole audience of 4,000 people started saying, should have put a ring on it. They sang the whole song. Should have put a ring on it. And they standing up, and they waving. And then when the song went off, no one spoke English again. But they sang that song in complete English. Because music is a unifier. Rhythm is a unifier. So when you're talking and when you're speaking and when you're opening up and when you're sharing, you want to use this as your secret weapon as well. You want to use iteration, repetition, and constantly doing the same thing. So if you do iteration, it's I want to speak with passion. I want to speak with purpose. I want to be on point. I want to have power. And I want to live with perseverance. That's that iteration, right? I have that rhythm. I use P's. I want to speak up. I want to show up. I want to rise up. I want to step up. I want to stay prayed up. That's that iteration. You feel that flow, you feel the rhythm. And then alliteration is that occurrence where you have the same sound. And rhyme, rhyme. So let me share with you what I did when I was 21 years old, I think. I think I was like 21, 22. I had to do a 1-minute introduction. And I wanted to make sure it was a minute. So I wrote alliteration. And it went like this. Education, preparation, motivation, with a dedication to my community. Public speaking is my occupation. School of Hard Knocks is my certification. People of color are my orientation. Yes, folks, you can speak to me later for clarification. I speak bold. I speak strong. I am 3 wrapped in 1. Malcolm X's desire for cultural cultivation. Martin Luther King's yearning for total liberation. And I do it all with a smile, with God's motivation. There's a great mother figure wrapped around my tongue. She helps clarify the 3 in 1. She leads me. She guides me. She lets me know which way to go. Besides all of my 3 in 1 sits Dr. Maya Angelou. I'm Lisa Nichols, and I am on my way. Listen closely, you will hear me one day, for I represent the strong women that are here to stay. Just a rhythm. Just a rhythm. A rhythm, right? .com, and it helps you find words. And then craft the words in such a place where it has a rhythm. And when you do that, audiences will lean in more. An audience of 1 or an audience of many will lean in more to you because people love the rhythm. So that's another technique that really can help you. So I'll go back and I want to sit on this slide while I take you through this next piece. I just want you to hold on to that. I was scared for a long time to use my voice because I kept underqualifying myself. I kept thinking, I'm too dark. I'm too thick. I come from South Central LA. I'm functionally dyslexic. There were so many reasons why I chose to not use my voice. Anybody know what I'm talking about? And the reasons made sense to me. They're not ready for me. I don't want to outgrow anybody in my community. I'm not sure that the world will accept me. Come on, you guys. We know our reasons, right? We know our reasons. Excellent. I brought my tissue out. I want to make sure that I did it correctly. And so I had 1,001 reasons to play small. But all I needed was one reason to choose to play big. And that was, I don't want to get to the end of my life and look back and wonder who I could have been. Who I could have been if I'd gathered up and mustered up the... I have climbed through a lot. Just say that. I have crawled through a lot. I have run through a lot. I have a lot to give. I have a lot to offer. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I've been ready. I'm ready. Tell my cells I'm ready. I'm ready. I am enough. I'm smart enough. I'm brilliant enough. I'm humble enough. There is an assignment that only I can feel. There is an assignment that only I can feel. And I will stand in it. I will choose it. I will work for it. I will fight for it. I will pray for it. I will be coachable for it. I will be action in it. I will leap in it. I don't know a lot. I don't know a lot. But I know, say it, come on y'all. I know what I know. What I know, say it. What I know, say it with more conviction. What I know. And I know that now is my time. I know that now is my time. I'm not going to question me. I'm not going to question me. I'll make mistakes and then I'll get up. I'll make mistakes and then I'll get up. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. And now I want you to speak to the world that's on its way to receive you. I want you to give the world notice, because sometimes you have to give the world notice. Take a deep breath. Repeat after me. Get ready for me, because I'm getting ready for you. Get ready for me, because I'm getting ready for you. You're going to meet me, and I'm going to serve you. You're going to meet me, and I'm going to inspire you. I'm not going to be perfect. Come on, y'all, say it. I'm not going to be perfect. But I will be a perfect match for you. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. I'm designed for greatness. Say it. I'm designed for greatness. Abundance is my birthright. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. Show me. Ready? Come on, y'all. Ready, set, ready, set, and grow. And grow. Repeat after me. I don't want to do it alone. I don't want to do it alone. I don't want to do it alone. I need my tribe. I deserve my tribe. stretch me. Tell us, stretch me. Open up, stretch me. Show me. Teach me. Stretch me. Don't let me leave here without touching my best. Don't let me off the hook. Come on, y'all, say it. Don't let me off the hook. Come on, breathe that in. Breathe it in. Breathe it in. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Let your cells feel it. Let your cells feel it. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Let your cells feel it. Who feels that tingle? You feel that tingle? You feel that tingle? And you can listen with your eyes closed. Or you can follow me, but I'm going to read it. Thank you. It says almost, and then I'll tell you who it's written by. Almost immediately after the protest started, we have begun to receive threatening phone calls and letters. They increased as time went on. By the middle of January, they had risen to about 30 or 40 threatening phone calls a day. From the beginning of the protest, both my mother, my parents, Coretta's parents, always had an unconscious and often conscious fear that something fatal might happen to us. They never had any doubt about the rightness of our actions. And I want you guys to hear that you can do it scared, y'all. I just want you to hear doing it scared. My parents were concerned about what might happen to us. My father made a beaten path between Atlanta and Montgomery throughout the days of the protest. Every time I saw him, I went through a deep feeling of anxiety. Take a breath, you guys, with me. Because I knew that my every move was driving my father deeper and deeper into a state of worry. I want you just to think about when you get scared. During those days, he would hardly mention many of the harassments that Coretta, the baby, and I were being subject to without crying. As the weeks passed, I began to see that many of the threats were in earnest. Soon I felt myself faltering. I felt my fear growing. One day, a white friend told me he had heard from a reliable source that plans were being made to take my life. For the first time, I realized that something could actually happen to me. One night at mass meeting, I found myself saying, if one day you find me sprawled out dead, I do not want you to retaliate with a single act of violence. I urge you to continue protesting with the same dignity and discipline you have shown so far. A strange silence came over the audience. You guys might already know that I'm talking. This letter is from Dr. Martin Luther King, but this is not Dr. Martin Luther King speaking. This is Martin. One night toward the end of January, I settled into bed. After a hard day, Coretta had already fallen asleep, and just as I was about to doze off, the telephone rang. An angry voice on the other side said, listen, nigger, we've taken all we want from you. He said, and then hung up. I couldn't sleep after that. It seemed as if all my fears had come down on me at once, and they had reached a saturation point. Come on, y'all. Somebody raise their hand if you know about reaching a saturation point. We never hear about this Dr. Martin Luther King. We never hear about this Dr. Martin Luther King. But I wanted you to meet this man. He said, I got out of bed and I began to walk the floor. I had heard these things before, but for some reason that night it got to me. I turned over and tried to go to sleep, but I couldn't sleep. I was frustrated. I was bewildered. And then I got up. Finally, I went to the kitchen. I heated a pot of coffee. Y'all listen to these next words. I was ready to give up. with my cup of coffee sitting untouched before me, I tried to think, y'all listen to this, I tried to think of a way to move out of the picture without appearing as a coward. We don't know this part of him. I sat there and I thought about the beautiful little daughter I had who had just been born. I'd come in the night after night to see that little gentle smile. I started thinking about the dedicated, loyal wife who was over there sleeping, and she could be hurt in the process, or I could be taken from her. And I got to the point that I couldn't take it any longer. Y'all listen to what Dr. King said. I was weak. Something said to me, you can't call on daddy now. You can't even call on mama. You got to call on that something that your daddy used to tell you about. That power that can make a way out of no way. Y'all listen, because no one ever published this about Dr. King. He said, with my head in my hands, I bowed over the kitchen table and I prayed out loud. The words I spoke to God that midnight are still vivid in my memory. Lord, I'm down here trying to do the right thing. Anybody know about that prayer? I think I'm right. I'm here taking a stand for what I believe is right, but Lord, I must confess that I'm weak now. I'm faltering. I'm losing my courage. Now I'm afraid. And I can't let the people see me like this, because if they see me weak and losing my courage, they will begin to get weak too. The people are looking to me for leadership. And if I stand before them without strength and courage, they too will fall and falter. I'm at the end of my powers, God. I have nothing left. I've come to a point where I can't face it alone. Anybody know about that? See, we haven't heard about this, Martin. It seemed as though I could hear a quiet assurance and an inner voice saying, Martin Luther, stand up for righteousness. Stand up for justice. Stand up for truth. And know that I will be with you, even until the end. Martin goes on to write, I tell you, I've seen things. I heard the thunder roar. I felt a dashing in my soul. But I heard the voice of God saying, still fight on. He promised never to leave me nor forsake me. At that moment when I began to say those words, I experienced a presence of the divine as I had never experienced before. Almost at once, my fears began to go. My uncertainty began to disappear, and I was ready to face anything. Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. So, sister, if you are afraid, and if you get lonely, and if your faith falters and alters at times, and if you feel uncertain, just let that letter be evidence that you're in real good company. I love you, sis. I love you, brother.
Give her a round of applause. Isn't she a special soul?